What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we are working on the S3, going to give the rear end some much needed love. So what I have today is a really cool looking gloss black rear wing. This should look pretty cool on the car. I'll go ahead and have this link down below. This is a very affordable, pretty inexpensive way to go. Pretty decent quality, just basic plastic. Isn't crazy thick or anything, but it is already painted in a gloss black. There's a few little imperfections with it, but nonetheless, I think it should look pretty good for what I'm going for. Just a nice basic wing, kind of like what an RS3 has. And then on top of that, we're gonna black out the Audi as well as the S3 using this SuperWrap stuff. I've used this before. I bought some gloss black to do the Audi, and then here's what I actually did on the calipers on the GTR and the Supra. And this stuff is actually pretty cool. I'll have that linked as well in the description below. You can pick it up on Amazon, super cheap. And it's basically a removable spray paint, but it dries like a vinyl wrap. It's basically liquid vinyl wrap. And then if we go check out the GTR's brakes, you can see how they still look so good. And they've been like this for like a year and a half. I've had no issues. Paint looks perfect. And when I'm ready, I can always peel these off. Just like Plasti Dip, however, it dries way nicer. This actually looks like paint. So it should be a really good upgrade for the S3 to black out the badges, making them look like they're painted gloss black without actually having to paint them. So a quick look at what this wing is going to end up looking like. It fits really good. It just nicely goes onto the edge, and as you can see, it goes all the way to the end. So it'll look pretty cool, a little bit more aggressive than the RS3's wing, but not too crazy aggressive since this car isn't, insanely modified. But I think that's gonna look pretty good, and it is pretty flexible, so that little bit of gap, all I have to do is press down, and it flexes nicely and conforms to the bodywork. So I think it should end up looking really nice on the car. So first up, we gotta clean up the underside. So I'm just gonna take a clean microfiber, and ironically, my caliper kit came with the SuperWraps cleaner, but any wax or grease remover will work for this. But just go ahead and do that. And then we're going to clean the whole edge just to make sure there's no waxes or greases left over from production. And we'll slowly get this whole thing nice and cleaned up. So from there, I'm gonna take the adhesive tape and we're just gonna start peeling it out and sticking it on as you would expect, starting from one corner. And then a trick we're gonna do at the end, give yourself a little bit of slack, maybe like an inch or so, and go ahead and cut it right there. And what we're gonna do is give ourselves a nice tail, that way we can actually get the rest of this adhesive off. So from there, just go ahead and split the red part from the adhesive. And once you've done that, we're gonna pull the red back a little bit more and then cut the adhesive, of course, right at the edge. And then now this red piece is gonna be a tail we can grab from the other end. And now we're just gonna apply more of the double-sided tape to this inside edge, a little bit awkward of an angle comparing it to that back piece. So now that all the adhesive is on, we're gonna take that same cleaner and a clean microfiber and just clean the lip of the car so it'll adhere nicely to the paintwork. And then this is a pretty narrow car, so it's pretty easy to line it up from the left and the right. Just make sure the tabs you left, these little red pieces, are visible so you can easily peel them off once the wing is installed. But from here, we'll just hold these back a little bit. And I'll line it up from the left side just because I can easily see that one. All right, so right about there is where it's gonna go. Some of it I did already peel off the red, so at least right now it'll kind of stick to it. And then from there, I'm just gonna grab this bottom piece, and as I pull this one off, it'll come off of the adhesive, and we can stick that right onto the paint and just kind of pull down on the wing a little bit just to give it some leeway. And we'll pull the red all the way out, which I think I pulled it too hard. And then just grabbing this side to get the rest of it out. But from here, just give it a nice firm press all the way around. And that is an installed wing. Well, that was super quick and easy, installing a nice little wing on the S3. I like how subtle it looks, just gives it that extra bit of sportiness. Pretty good looking too for being less than 200 bucks. Like literally, that was a very inexpensive mod, and it takes like 10 minutes to do. So definitely liking the new look, as you can see from the underside, and the gloss black just really fits nicely. So like I said, I'll have this link down below for those of you who want to pick it up. And again, it's kind of a lower quality type of wing. It's just normal plastic. It's not carbon fiber or anything fancy, but less than 200 bucks. I think it's pretty well worth it. I will say the double-sided tape it comes with, I would just go ahead and go to the store and get the roll of 3M tape. This stuff was really hard to peel off of the little round thing it came on after I did the first strip. The rest was really hard to do. I did that off camera. So go ahead and get different tape just to make it easier to apply. But once I got it all on, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that nice little subtle wing. So on to the badges now. So like we did for the wing, we're gonna take that same wax and grease remover and make sure we clean everything nicely. Same with S3. So with the car all taped up now, we are ready to start painting. So just use some newspaper, some of the packaging that the wing came in, and we are ready to rock and roll. As you can see, we can just see the paint around the S3 as well as the Audi. And then the car is pretty well covered. Even if there is any overspray, it literally will wipe right off, being such a fine mist. But of course you want to limit that just as much as possible. So many coats later, we are ready to start peeling things apart to see our finished product before we then peel the paint. Now when you're spraying this, you want to do a lot of light dustings. I probably did like 20 different coats. If you do it thick, you could risk it running and just glopping up, especially where you need to then peel it off of the paint, but not on the emblem. So light mists, just light dustings basically, and eventually you get there 10-15 minutes between coats and you should be good to go. So now let's start seeing what it's gonna look like. So there we go, peeling off all the taping and everything. There's no overspray, so I think I did a really good job covering the car. And as you may have seen already, some of the vinyl stuff, the spray vinyl, is already starting to come off of the paintwork, of course, where it was peeling. So you can basically just peel this like a vinyl wrap or like Plasti Dip or something, and should do a pretty good job coming off. This car is completely ceramic coated, so that certainly helps. And then moving over to the S3, if I just grab one of these edges, I can just slowly peel it out from under the badge. And this should end up looking pretty darn good. So last on the list now is to replenish the red part of the S3. So I went ahead and made this on the Cricut, cut it out very easily, sized it, and got it in the correct dimensions and sizes and all that good stuff. So now we can apply that over where it should be red, and that should put it back to looking like a factory badge. All right, here we go. We are all done now. Nice cold start in the Audi. And let's pull it out into the sunlight now. Get a much better idea of how this thing is starting to look now. All right, here we go. Final product. I am really impressed with the wing. This is super inexpensive. Fitment is honestly spot on, and the gloss black coating looks pretty nice as well. Not too bad for a pretty budget way to soup up the rear end of the S3. And then the badges all turned out really nicely. You can see the gloss and then for S3 as well. And I love the SuperWraps stuff. It dries just like paint, so it's a nice shiny surface. It doesn't look like plastic dip, which kind of has that matte rubbery appearance. It looks like a nice paint job, which is pretty cool. And it was like 20 something bucks for one can, so very inexpensive. And then another look from this angle. I like the aggression to the wing. It's not too crazy, but definitely a cool setup on the S3. Nice way to tie it all in together with the black optics package, and of course that black AWE exhaust system that we have. So there you guys go, a fun, inexpensive mod to make the rear end of the S3 come to life. Comment below, what do you guys think? We got this full blacked out theme going, and I really like the angle that the wing is because it doesn't really stick straight up and down. It more so sticks straight outwards, which I think kind of makes the car look a little bit longer. I'm liking the look of it. I'm definitely excited for now how the S3 is sitting. That is it then for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.